Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks to my new subscribers. To those who have not subscribed, remember to like, subscribe and share. Leave a comment and we'll respond to your questions. Okay, today I have with me my friend Tiphia.
Hi guys.
And I'll be asking Tiphia a few questions about her life in Canada and some tips that she will provide for you.
Hopefully.
So, stay tuned and I hope this will be informative for you. Welcome to my channel, Tiphia.
Thank you for having me, Natoya. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you as well. Now my first question is, how long have you been in Canada?
Approximately 12 years.
Okay, that's
Yes.
a long time.
Very long time.
So having been in Canada for 12 years, what are 3 things that you truly love about being in Canada?
Okay, I'm not sure if this is a difficult question or it's an easy question. So this one is pretty much personal. So for years we've struggled with fertility issues. So one thing I really appreciate about Canada, well, at least Ontario, is the free healthcare system. So having tried for 11 years, we were successful through a free healthcare plan. And if I had been home or elsewhere, it would have cost me a lot. So 1, I like the healthcare system. 2, I like the weather. I like the change in the weather. It oftentimes reminds me of the awesome God that we serve. Just seeing, spring, summer, fall. So it's just an amazing experience. And thirdly, I like the fact that the way the grocery system operates, where we have a weekly flyer. I know this sounds but it's true. So you're actually able to eat on a budget because we know what's coming out on a weekly basis. You're able to plan your meals based on what's in the flyer. And if you're by any means as economical as I am, then you'll be able to save a few bucks.
Okay, thank you. Now, people have different ways of coming to Canada. Could you share about your path to Canada?
Absolutely. So my path was not planned. We were in the States and then suddenly I felt I wanted to explore a little bit more. And so my husband and I decided to apply for study permits. We both applied. We both got approved for a study permit. We drove from the States here. And then my husband decided he would go to school, and at that time I applied for a work permit instead. I canceled the student visa and applied for a work permit instead, a spousal open work permit, and that's how we got here. So he went to school for about three years. I worked while I was in school. So the plan at that time, because I'm a trained teacher, the plan at that time was to apply as a teacher. But when I came here, if you had lived in the country for a year, it would have put you at an advantage. But by the time that year came around, immigration took teaching off the list. And so I was at a disadvantage. So I was working fast food at the time as a temporary job. And once I applied to immigration for an extension, because now my husband finished school and he got his work permit, immigration denied me that the job I was doing was not good enough for them to do the extension. And so we had to shift gears, and then I went as an international student, he went as the worker, and from then, once he accumulated the hours, which would make him qualify for permanency, then we applied for permanency and we got it in 2014.
Okay, so I just want to interject and say the reason you were denied is because they have immigration, they have set categories that they look for, category A, B, and O. So working fast food would not fit in any of those categories.
Any of those categories, yes.
Have you regretted that decision to move from the States that everybody loves to come to Canada?
So I think each country, even my birth country, has its own advantages and disadvantages. I am going to say no. From a long-term perspective, I think Canada is a great place to settle. If you're looking for entertainment, depending on the province and the city, of course, I'm a country girl, so I've decided to settle in the country. But I like Canada is a lot more family oriented. And so now that I have children, I think it's just an amazing place to raise the children. I've chosen the country life because I think it's a great place as well to create some diversity and to actually shine, because there are opportunities for that as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, what are the top 3 things that you dislike about Canada?
Yikes. Okay. So Canada is a really nice place, as I said. What I really don't like is that we have a lot of qualified people coming in and they're literally starting from the bottom. I've seen a lot of people who have entered the country without mental health issues, and just the way the system operates, they have fallen victim to mental health issues. So I don't like that. 2, I think, oh my gosh, I just think the provinces are too far apart. It's like every province you need to go to, you have to take an airplane. And that's the contrary with the States. You can actually just drive and you're there. Of course you can drive, but it will take hours. So that's 2. The third thing,
She loves Canada so much.
Car insurance is too expensive.
Can I tell you?
It is very, very expensive. So, yeah.
Okay, so many have heard about the initial struggles of settling in Canada.
Yeah.
If there's someone who is trying to decide whether or not it's worth it to come to Canada, given the opportunities or given the chance to struggle initially, what advice would you give to that person? Is it worth it?
Okay, so I think first of all, it depends on your reason for coming here. For me, it's not short term, it's not intermediate, it's more long term. I'm looking for my retirement. What does that look like for me? What can I afford? I'm looking for support that I can give to my family who are back home. I am able to do that now because there's so many resources here. Yes, it is readily available, but you need to be assertive and you need to be on top of it, and you need to ask the right questions. And I think sometimes we don't know the right questions to ask, and that's why we need people in a circle who've been through the situation and they can provide that guidance that you would need so the transition can be a little bit easier. Was my transition easy? Not at all. Thankfully, I had a supportive partner. We understood it and we were in it together. If you're here, it is not easy. You have to start from the bottom, and I mean literally from the bottom. You have to put shame aside and just do what needs to be done to get you to where you need to be. For some people, it is easy. For others, it comes a little bit more, it's a little bit more difficult, but you will get there. Again, before you make that decision, set out those goals. Is it long? If it's short term, I would say to you honestly, this is probably not the choice. If it's a long-term goal, absolutely. It is a beautiful place to settle for many reasons.
Yes, and I mean, though there are initial struggles, the government has provided support systems to help people to settle. Worst case scenario, there are food banks.
Exactly.
You have children, there's child support. There are just systems in place to help, and nobody wants to depend on welfare. But at the end of the day, we're just thinking worst case scenario, you will not starve, you'll be fine.
Exactly. It's funny because I was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and I said, if my mom should call me today to say, hey, I am out of this, it is easy for me to say, okay, I'll just use my grocery money because there are resources out there, that will help me with food if I don't have food. So, and then, you know what, that is something I really respect about this country. They are very giving and they take care of their people. Yeah. I think when other countries where we're sold out to different agencies, I think here you are valued and your worth is actually respected. That's my opinion.
Except when you just come and try to find a job.
Yes. Again, you have to know how to navigate the system. That's important.
Okay. What advice would you give to international students who are planning to come to Canada?
Get your finances sorted out. That is important. Have a plan A and a plan B. My mom would say this to me all the time. Do not come with the expectation that you're going to get a job right away. More often than not, that is not the case. One thing about Canada, you could be very educated, but here in Canada, to launch a job, it's based on experience. So I've seen so many people, I have my master's, I have a PhD, I'll get a job. It doesn't work that way. So have your resources figured out before coming. Know it is going to be hard work. Know you have to work harder than anybody else. Know that. But I think the good thing is international students tend to be very well, and they're always on Dean's List and academically strive. So, so that's one. Have a strong support system. Get involved in groups. Initiate a group too, because believe it or not, people from different cultures are also having a hard time transitioning. So if you can have like-minded people together to help each other along, then that will help you. And that will be a contribution to the institution as well. Make friends at the institution. Try and get a job there if possible to help international students as well. I would say thirdly, but I think I've already gone to number 3, volunteer. Go out there and volunteer. Start looking at your area of study and see what organizations are available in your city and get volunteer opportunities going. Because at the end of the day, when you're ready to find a job, you might not have paid experience, but you have volunteered experience, and that will look good on your resume. Try and connect with people from your culture. I know in my city, it is hard because they're not like in the bigger cities, Toronto, for example, because it's bigger, you'll have like the Canadian Jamaican Association and there is support there, but try and connect with local organizations within your city because you will need that support. It is so hard being away from your families. You will fall into depression. So you actually need that local group so you can socialize. I know like for me, Thanksgiving was always depressing. Christmas was always depressing because I don't have my family with me. So if you have an adopted family here, that would be great. Before you go and get any, I would say it's easy for you to want to find settlement before you come here. I would love to say to you, man, if possible and you're able to find someone to just lodge it for a little bit, figure out the city, because some areas are better than others. When you look at it online, you don't see that scope. But when you come here and you've already signed a lease agreement and you go there, it's like, man, I would not have lived here if I were living home.
So they could do an Airbnb for a month?
I would say do an Airbnb for a little bit, right? And then get to navigate the town so you can figure out, yeah, I don't want to be there. Yes, I could be there. Because I see a lot of people feel like they have left home and they have compromised their values by settling, right? So that would be a big advice as well. Don't be in a rush to go buy a car or buy this. Keep all the money you can in your pockets. You have a free bus pass as a student, utilize it. Car insurance is so expensive. So expensive. So use the bus system. If you have a family that's kind of different, try and figure out childcare too if you have children. Yeah. That is a big thing and it is expensive. Unfortunately, you wouldn't qualify for a lot of the things that the government offers for childcare. I think I don't have the stats on this or the details on this, but you have to be here for a little while before you qualify. So you must have childcare. To be very honest with you, this is just my personal opinion. If it's a family that's coming, I would suggest one person come first, figure things out, and then the family comes afterwards. In that way, you can figure out school, figure out location of school, if it's on a bus system, figure out if you're close to grocery store, find an apartment that you're comfortable with before getting the family. It is hard. Even if you were to beg someone for boarding for a month, it is hard to ask someone for accommodation for a family of 3, 4, 5. It's easier for them to accommodate one person. So that would be my advice to you.
So Tiphia mentioned about getting connected with groups, and we found comfort in being connected with our church. It's good to have a church family, and in our church we found a lot of Jamaicans. So you can find a church where your people are, and they will give you advice and they'll just offer you support. People here can be really nice. So take that advice and
Yes.
find groups. There are social services as well, and they have different groups. You can go online, you can visit their locations depending on the time, because now we can't visit because of COVID. But ordinarily you can go to these places. They have support group for women, they have play groups for children. So just go out and see what's available and get involved.
You know what, Nato, I didn't mean to interject, but
Okay.
some of these churches do have really qualified, educated Jamaicans or Caribbean people who are in high positions in their jobs and will also help you with job search. So that is a plus.
Well, I hope you found something that you can benefit from in this video. I really want to thank my friend Tiphia for joining me today.
No problem. Have me again.
Yes, for joining me today to just share tips with other people who are coming, and you're just thinking, what's my best option? Should I come to Canada? Should I stay where I'm at? I'm a risk taker, and I believe that we have one life to live. If it's on your mind, I say go for it. Go for it.
Yes. It's worth a try. It is worth a try.
It. And I mean, what's the worst that could happen, really?
You go home. The beautiful island of Jamaica. That's not bad at all,
What's
is
the worst that could happen? Yeah, so take a risk. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Yes, and click that notification bell so that you're notified each time I post. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.